Hey, welcome to WSAZ Plus. My name is Tim Irr. I work at WSAZ. I sound like a robot when I'm talking. I should be more laid back. My name's Tim Irr. It's 9 o'clock at night, after all, and we are laid back. I'm joined by three friends. There they are, Emily and Nick. Thanks, guys, for being here.
We're pulling double duty tonight, Tim.
Yes, I know. Yeah, this is fun. So we're talking about what's coming up as far as the weather is concerned. And you guys have some concerns, and the concerns are talking about precipitation, how much to expect, where to expect it, all that fun stuff. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, evening commute tomorrow. Going to be a little dicey. A little bit of snow headed our way, right, Emily?
Oh, yeah, and honestly, a little bit of a pain to forecast for because we're sitting right at that freezing level, so we can't just say, oh, everything's below 32 degrees.
Right,
we're looking at snow, or everything's above the freezing mark. We're looking at rain. It has to be right at that level, and, of course, some models are showing that warm wedge going a little bit further north.
There's that term again.
Yes.
There's that term, warm wedge. You know, I'm going to tell you guys, until this was talked about, I had never heard of that. I've heard of a wedge of salad before. I've heard of like the wedge in the door to keep it from closing and opening. I've never heard wedge used in meteorological terms. So has this been around and I've just been missing it? Or
no, it's been around. Last year, if you remember the ice storm back in the beginning of 2025, we got hit with the warm wedge there.
Oh, is that? Okay.
It all has to do with the topography of our area. I'm not going to get into the dynamics of it too totally, but essentially low-pressure areas don't like mountainous terrain. They like to go away from the mountainous terrain. So oftentimes you'll get these disturbances high up in the sky which drive the low pressures at the surface, and you'll get one low pressure from the disturbance, which is the original one, that goes on the western side of the Appalachians, which is us. And when you have that center of low pressure, you get a channel of strong southerly wind that pulls in that warm air. Of course, the mountains are so high up, so it's much cooler.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the mountains, you get a new area of low pressure that forms off the Atlantic coast, essentially, and you get northerly winds pulling down cold air. So on the essentially east side of the mountains, which is over toward Virginia, North Carolina, over toward D.C., places like that, you get cold air. You get cold air on top of the mountains, and then you get this wedge of warm air that's caused by that original low pressure sloping up the western side of the Appalachians. On top of that, too, you have easterly winds sloping down. When air slopes down, it warms, and so it keeps the area closest to the mountains warm, and that's kind of what happened with this last system. It tends to happen around our parts of the area, our neck of the woods here.
Do you know that
due to the topography?
That thing that you talked about east of the Appalachian Mountains? So when we were around when our daughter was going to school up at Shepherd, and we were up in the eastern panhandle of West Virginia, and so that would be southeastern part of Pennsylvania. In that area right there, we noticed there are a ton of peach orchards. It was in the summertime, and end of the summer, and so all the peaches were all in bloom, or whatever, harvest time, and so all these roadside stands and farmers markets and everything had they were the most wonderful peaches I've ever had in my life. They were so good, in this whole area of West Virginia and Pennsylvania. And the way that the farmers explained it to us was that exact thing that you just described. I had never heard it said, because they weren't being as scientific as you were. They were just talking about warm air that comes on the eastern side of the eastern slope of the mountains, and the way it pushes up into the valley, it creates this warm air flow, and that's why they can grow peaches, in this area that far up, when normally a lot of peaches are just grown down south. But they get this warm flow, this wedge that goes that way. So it can literally not only change the weather, but it can also change agriculture. So, there's the lesson right there about weather, and not just your forecast, but also agriculturally.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, mountains do some interesting things to the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Having lived in a mountainous area for 2 years out in the Rockies, out in Idaho, that was a really challenging place to forecast. So it does some interesting things to the atmosphere for sure.
You have some stuff pulled up, Emily. You have some graphics you wanted to show us.
Absolutely.
What are we talking about here?
Because we have that first alert weather day for tomorrow. We've been having a lot of them recently, a lot of red days on that 7-day. But starting off tomorrow, again, we're talking about that mixed precipitation because of that freezing layer being right at the surface.
And what time are you guys thinking?
We're looking around the afternoon hours. We're starting to see it poke in around 11 a.m. a little bit, but we might not see total a lot more precipitation until the late afternoon, around the 3 p.m. time frame. But even then, it's still going to get a little spotty because we're looking at a snow belt moving through the southern part of Ohio, along the Ohio River area, versus kind of the coal field, central West Virginia is going to be in a little bit of a gap.
Okay.
So. It's mainly a southern Ohio thing earlier on in the afternoon, and slowly but surely makes its way a little bit further south. Emily, by the way, was showing me a nice little dry punch of air too. So if you're a little bit further to the south or east, you may get some dry time tomorrow too. Not just precipitation, but some dry time. So that'll help warm us up a little bit as well.
Yeah, so a lot of varying forecasts, and it's really, I hate to say where it's just very location dependent for this one instead of just widespread. It's
where we live.
Easy to say, exactly, but the atmosphere, again, is doing some crazy stuff. But yeah, so those temperatures around the noontime are actually going to be above freezing. But then as we move into the later evening hours, we're going to drop below freezing yet again. But this is one of the first couple days, today and tomorrow, that will be finally above freezing.
Okay, and everybody's like losing their minds when they hear that because they're like, it's kind of free. We're not talking about like below zero temperature. So what happens tomorrow will not be a repeat of what happened the week before, last weekend.
Yeah, and I want to point out too, to get ice or freezing rain or anything like that, you need that warm air high up, and you need temperatures below freezing at the Earth's surface.
Okay.
What's happening tomorrow is the air is kind of matching itself. It's uniform in temperature. So the air high up is going to be below freezing, whereas the air at the surface is going to be above freezing. So while it might still be raining at temperatures of 33 degrees, it's not going to freeze because the snow is going to melt at the ground, not necessarily above the ground and then refreeze as it hits the ground, like what we saw last weekend. So it's not a sleet situation, not an ice storm situation. If you're not getting snow, you're likely just getting rain. So that's a lot better of a scenario compared to what we saw last weekend.
I'd say so.
Yeah, for sure. Especially because the freezing rain last weekend just created a whole coating, as we saw, but we don't need to go back into that.
No. So what else do you have for us?
Well, we have a winter weather advisory. That's looking to be around 10 p.m. on Tuesday. But we're looking at that. We're mostly going to see that extend a little bit further south than what we have that now, just based on the models. Because, again, kind of where we're seeing that border of that winter weather advisory is kind of where we're seeing that discrepancy between the models of, we're going to see that more of a rain event or more of a snow event. Okay,
once again, it looks like Huntington-Charleston is avoiding the vast majority of what's going to happen.
I'd say Campbell County and Kanawha County will stay advisory-less, if for lack of a better word, I guess.
That works.
But I think Lawrence County, Ohio, and watch for Mason and Jackson counties in West Virginia. They might be added to that tomorrow, so keep that in mind.
Okay. All right.
Sure. And then temperatures tomorrow. That was the big deal. As we go into the afternoon, again, that 4 p.m. time frame, we're going to be right above freezing. And actually down in Pikeville, we're getting closer into the 40s.
Whoa, look at Pikeville. It's almost 50 degrees up there.
Very exciting for them. Which I think the last time we had temperatures like this was a couple weeks ago in January. We had that week where we were talking about spring-like conditions.
Right, like flowers were popping out of the ground.
Yeah,
like little buds.
We've had so many curveballs of saying spring-like, then the next week winter storm, everything's below zero.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. So tomorrow we'll finally start to inch back up, which I'm so excited about because driving on this ice, you said it earlier, trying to park on the streets is just a mess.
Parallel parking near Marshall is a train wreck. I go to the Marshall Rec Center every morning and
can't you just park in the lot?
I'm too cheap.
Oh, they charge you parking.
I'm not going to pay to park there. No.
So
I parallel park, and it's not a fun time when there's a bunch of ice.
It's almost impossible to parallel park.
Yeah.
So you're sliding all over the place.
Oh yeah. Even if you don't have only one spot available, you can't even get in there because you need enough momentum to get over the ice in the middle of the road and the side of the road.
Momentum is key. I've learned that with this ice.
Tim, if you go back to the temperature graphic too, I wanted to show you something. Really pay attention to that. Notice temperatures in Huntington and Charleston.
Do you want 11 p.m. or go back?
Go back. Yeah, go back one, Emily, because this is going to be really important.
Okay. So that's the Tuesday. 30 degrees, 32, 30 Huntington, 32, around 11 p.m. Tuesday. But if you go back to what time are you talking about?
We're talking about around 4 p.m.
Okay, so
for some reason the clickers. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Tuesday, 12 p.m.
Oh, and I went back one too many times.
Keep going.
We love that.
You
there
can
you
catch
go.
it. Okay.
Notice those temperatures in Huntington, Charleston, 33, 33.
Yes.
That's going to be rain at 33, 33.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. Rain.
Now notice Portsmouth. What is Portsmouth? 32.
Oh, yeah, right.
So that's going to be snow. So It's a tough forecast.
Now, it snowed at 33, 34, 35, 36 degrees before.
Right.
Why not this time? Why can't we?
It's too moist, for lack of a better word. If you want snow in temperatures above freezing, you need air that's very dry near the Earth's surface. Our professor, Dr. Fote, talked about wet bulb temperature all the time. You need that wet bulb temperature to be 32 degrees or below to get snow at temperatures above 32. And for, I guess, essentially you need it to be very dry, and the wet bulb temperature is going to be the same as the air temperature.
What's the professor's name? What's her name or his name?
Dr. Fote. Dr. Ryan Fote.
Dr. Ryan Fote.
Fote's the goat.
Fote's the goat. Fote would be so happy right now that you guys are talking about, because these are lessons learned.
Oh, absolutely.
This is great. Dr. Fote at Ohio University in Athens. So shout out to Dr. Fote, and I hope you get to see this. You should definitely forward it to your professor, because I think that means a lot.
Tomorrow, maybe.
They're all at Buffalo Wild Wings
Profs
now,
love it when their lessons that they taught you actually stick. You know, because all too often as professors and parents, our words seem to fall on deaf ears. But no, it works in your case, so you remember that well.
Wet bulb temperature, it's important.
Okay, that's awesome. Good to know. Do you guys need to show me anything else? You got?
If we want to take a look, we've got a couple of other interesting things. But the other thing to also note about this tempcast, when we're talking about those temperatures, is this is also kind of when we're seeing a little bit of that dry layer.
Okay.
So we're talking about that rain, snow a little bit, but we also might be seeing no precipitation at all because of a little bit of dry.
And that'll be more common too, where you see that 48, that 40. The dry air will be warmer. If you imagine yourself, on a hot summer day when you go to the pool, and you jump out of the pool after getting out of the pool, and 90 degrees all of a sudden feels like 70 degrees once you get out of the pool. Yeah. That's the same kind of situation, because there's precipitation in the air. As the precipitation is evaporating off the ground, it's grabbing heat from the air and dropping the air temperature. So where it's cooler, you're seeing precipitation. Where it's warmer, you're not seeing precipitation.
Okay, makes sense. The precipitation that we get, for the people who get it, I guess it depends on temperature-wise, but some people will see some snow. Will it be wet snow because it's around 32 degrees?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we're not going to see the big fluffy, like last
Snowman.
weekend part of it that we saw in southern Ohio was fluffy snow for a bit there. And again, like you said, it's not really snowball snow, but then we're going to see wet snow, so it's going to compact a bit more, be a bit more dense.
It's not going to do anything about the ice that's out there right now, though. It's going to take more than the next 24 hours.
Well, I'll tell you, a 48-degree temperature in Pikeville will do something about it.
Yeah, that'll definitely do something about it, 48 degrees. But for the rest of us...
Yeah, unfortunately.
Freezing, and even though we might see some rain, it's still one of those, it'll take off maybe that type of a layer, but it's not going to get rid of all. But you need consistent warm temperatures and
some sunshine too.
So right now it's still a skating rink outside, as we saw.
Tony had his ice skates on today at 5:30,
which was very cool, and he was literally skating around Harris Riverfront Park, not down on the Ohio River. We don't advise anybody to go out on ice because, as Christopher Walken said, the ice is going to break. You don't want to be out there when it breaks because, we know what happens. So. Yeah, don't go out on the ice. But Tony was literally skating around on the park where the water had frozen on that deck area, and it's really. Have you guys heard about Susan's sled?
Yes, I saw you guys making it one day. Yeah.
Okay, so we made this sled. This is it right here, Susan's sled. You put little ropes on it and everything like that. And the back of it has. She literally took the time to put duct tape all over this back of it. So the entire thing is duct tape. Do you think that would work outside of this?
I was actually walking home for dinner on dinner break, and I go through the courthouse to get through to my where my apartment is, and I could literally just slide down the sidewalk with my boots on. So I'm sure that sled will work.
So we tested it out. We took it out earlier. Charlie Roth and I went outside, and so Charlie took it in. This is it. Let's see if we can get the audio. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is go up the hill, and I was literally sliding down that little tiny hill outside WSAZ, just a little mound, and I couldn't even get any traction to get up there. So then I decided, okay, well, I know what I need to do, dig in. So I literally start to try to dig in with my foot, and it's still not working, still sliding, can't dig. So what else is a person to do? There's only one thing to do. You crawl, literally crawl. And even crawling, I'm sliding back down the hill.
So I guess you really don't need the sled then.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I probably wouldn't even need a sled. I can literally sit down and probably go slide down the hill. But, yeah, and don't worry, Joel, I don't break your tree right there. That's okay. And then this is the big test. I mean, you can see right there, and you know what's going to happen.
Looks pretty durable there.
Yeah.
Good job, Susan. Oh, nice. There you go.
Yeah.
Pretty good distance.
I could probably do that.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean,
It
it's
worked.
pure ice, so you don't have any snow to kind of like sink into or stop.
Yeah,
I think the
so-
only thing you have to worry about is
Yeah.
hitting a tree or someone else.
No, not at all. So thank you, Susan. It worked. Your little homemade sled did it. So, and I think that would probably work, as you said, just about anywhere because it is so slick out there. Parking lots, even on some people I've seen people walking in the street. Don't advise that, but at the same time, that may be the only way around because some of the sidewalks are just impassable. So you have to walk in the street. Just keep your eyes behind you to make sure that nobody's coming.
Well, I'll tell you, too, the footprints that are in some of the ice, too, because remember when we had before the refreeze, when we had that rain, a lot of people were making those footprints in the slush, and now all of a sudden just refroze.
It was like cement when somebody steps in wet cement.
Literally. So those footprints... or even the tire tracks, they just make it so difficult to walk or drive or anything like that.
It is.
Yeah,
It's clumpy, bumpy, and
just yucky.
It's just yucky. Those are the good ways to put it. Those are the meteorological terms that you don't see anywhere else, but here on WSAZ Plus. Hey guys, thanks for joining us.
Of course, Tim.
Appreciate it. That was a lot of fun, and don't forget, we'll see you coming up tonight on the Tri-State CW and on WSAZ at 11 o'clock. I'll be there. Back to night shift. Yeah. So that's why I'm powering up because got to have caffeine. Keep going. So thanks again for joining us, and we will see you again tonight at 10 on the Tri-State CW.